Amiga, we are in our change era. Yes, our change era. This podcast, Mom Chisme, is currently going through a big transition. We're closing a chapter as I say goodbye to my best friend as a host, and I welcome my big sister, Pia. Together, we're the Besada sisters. She's the older sister. I was the little sister for a very, very long time, and eventually I became a middle sister. And let's just say that dynamics of la hermana mayor and the middle child are spot on with both of us. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about change in my personal life, change in PGC, and change in this podcast. I also share a little secret of what's coming next with PGC as I navigate the journey of what's next with my business brand, Pretty Girl Charm. Change is a law of life. Today, I'm with my big sister, Pia, and we're going to talk about changes and moving forward and journeys of change. Lately, we've had a lot of changes in our life. In specifically me, in my personal life, and in my work life or business life, I faced a lot of changes, and I feel that as a family in whole, like
It
my
was a
siblings,
lot of changes.
we've had a lot of changes, and I feel that that's something that you can count on forever in life. It's things changing and evolving. And one of the biggest things that have changed in the recent times is, as a business owner with my best friend, we decided to close down like our business as we had it together. And I feel that change was really hard for both of us. And it made it very, I don't know, it was a difficult I've been going through a lot of changes, and I think that was one of the hardest ones.
I want to say yes, that might have been one of your hardest change or the hardest decision to make for
Yeah.
you
Yes.
in the last year. That was one of the hardest ones that you had
Yeah.
for both of
Um,
you.
it was hard. I feel that sometimes stepping back and knowing when to say no, or when to know when something needs to close, is difficult. And
And it's scary.
and it's scary. Yes, it's
Mhm.
scary. And I feel that we both said, I think that we need to change and we need to move forward.
Mhm.
Was scary to both of us. We had put so much work for 3 years.
Mhm.
And I feel that that's something that change makes so difficult, is that you feel that you've invested or you've done a certain thing a certain way for so long that then when you decide to do something different, like you feel like,
People
oh my
think,
God.
well, because the way of how you're looking at change, I think that the way that we have to look at change is not in a negative way. And sometimes we do tend to put a negative connotation to change. And I think that, and it comes to that point where you said that we invested all this time and then now to make this decision. And I don't think it was a, it was a change that at one point you guys had to make. It was hard, but it wasn't time that was lost because it fortified your relationship as friends. You became more than friends. You became almost like sisters and families, and your way of communication got better as a friendship. So the investment was just not financially with your time, it was emotionally as well. So, and it wasn't lost because you gained so much. You learned so many lessons from that, that I think it was just got to a point where you made a decision, but it wasn't all lost.
Yes, but I feel that in the process of making the decision, I think that that's why it was so
It's so
difficult. And I
hard.
feel that
Yeah.
that's why change is so difficult. And it is because in the time you feel like, oh my God. And we've been doing this for 3 years. Like we're still best friends.
Right.
That doesn't change. But then the
Right.
dynamic of not having a business changes. But I feel that overall, now looking back, it's been almost 3 months. Like, we're just back to being friends.
Friends. Yeah.
I love, it's amazing. And I feel that it was definitely, now I can say it's the best decision that we could have made together. Which I love que las dos como que llegamos a la conclusión juntas. We were both like, okay, we need to like, you know, Sarah wanted to focus on her family and her kids. Like her kids are very small, both of them. And I, on my end, had, I've been dealing with my divorce, and then our mom got diagnosed with cancer last year in the end of July, beginning of August. And I feel that hit us like a ton of brick. That's another change that we're going to talk about. But I feel that it really, like my mom's change with her health really made me reevaluate things. And I feel that PGC was one of them. And I think that Sarah loves my mom, obviously, and she's almost part of my family. I'm almost part of her family. We're like family. It really hit us where like, life is so fleeting that sometimes you just have to grow and evolve and change for things to just flow better and for it to be
Focus on what's important to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So,
I feel that made a huge impact on our decision to like put aside PGC for a while and our business relationship. You know what I mean? I feel like that was a huge change for both of us last year.
yeah. I mean, for all of us in the family and everything, because it's it's a whole family dynamic, and like again, we said Sada is part of our family, so that is But you're right. I think that it changed. It's a good thing. I am very excited as to where you're taking PGC. I'm very thankful for what Sada and you guys created. So I know that most of the people that follow you guys are excited to see where it's going to be and what's going to happen. So,
And I feel like that's another big change because I decided that once we decided to say that we were not going to move forward with PGC, that we were going to, basically close it down and end it, we got so many like messages and feedback, and everybody's like, oh my God, why? We love you. Like, you girls are amazing. But also, we got a lot of feedback like, ¿cuál es el
¿qué
chisme?
le pasó a Sara? What's the big deal?
Like literal, everybody's like, what happened? Or like,
There was no scandal, people. This was not a Bravo series. There was no
this is
scandal.
not Vanderpump. They're not scandalable. But it really put things into perspective, at least for me, where that iteration of PGC was closing, but that I wanted to somehow remain some version of it to remain
True.
part
And
of my journey
right.
individually. I think that PGC has given me, like my business has given me so many amazing things beyond just, being a business. So I'm excited because that's another big change where, it's going to be me alone. And, I've been hinting of what I'm going to do with it. The more the times go by and the more that I've been working through what I think PGC is going to be, the more grounded I feel about what it means to you, like my PGC amiga, and to me, and what really brings me joy. And like jewelry brings me a lot of joy. You know, sharing the ups and downs of life and business and all those things also brings me a lot of joy. And I am eternally grateful for the 3 years that we've had and for the community that we have met. When my mom got diagnosed, the amount of people that reached out, like mom, because the amount of people that reached out to me, like,
Yeah.
support was insane, like
Yeah.
amazing. So I think that coming soon, it will come where I'll share the whole secret, but it's definitely going into what makes my heart full with joy and sparkle really makes me joyful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Happy.
sharing sparkle with my amigas makes me more joyful también. So, you know, that happiness route of my heart is, I think, is gonna be a nice change.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Pero
like that. See,
en verdad, overall, I feel que como familia, we had a big change.
we had a huge year. Y let me see, it started como que no iba a pasar grandes cosas. There wasn't going to be a lot of anything. I was like, oh, okay, 2023 is looking up real quick. And then middle of 2023, like it was like shit hit the fan, literally. And I don't know if I can say that in but literally, like it was like a whirlwind. It was like we went on this roller coaster ride of emotions, situations. So many things happened, but I think that at the end of the year, we could look back and be like, wow, that was a lot. I'm glad it's kind of over. And let's look forward to see what we learned from these changes and what we were able to retain. But there was a lot. There was a lot of changes. I mean, we're on the process of welcoming a new family member. Like,
I know.
that's crazy that this all happened. We found out my mom had cancer. We found out we were gonna be tias again. We were found out like so many things that happened that it just kind of was like, oh my god.
I know.
So, but I think that we are as a family, we all kind of it speaks volumes of the amount of support that we got from everybody else. But as a family, we grew stronger. We were
Yeah.
strong already, but this really kind of sealed our relationships and we relied on each other. We created a village out of my mom's family, my mom's friends, the people around her. People stepped up that we didn't even think we were gonna not we didn't even think about them, and they stepped up and they helped out, and it was outstanding to say the least. So yeah, grateful
Yeah.
for the amount of support.
I think that huge change just, it makes you like, I feel that, I mean, you think about, and this is gonna sound super morbid. You think about, the process of life is that eventually your parents pass away, or that's what you envision. Like they
Mm-hmm.
grow old, they pass away, then it's you, then it's your kid. Blah, blah. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to be the order of things. But I feel that facing something like what we faced this past year with my mom, really changes the way that you like view everybody and everything and situations. Like, is it worth it? Is it gonna matter? Like
In the
like
grand scheme of things, ¿qué
in the grand
importa?
scheme of
Like,
things, paying for that type of thing, and like, as long as everybody's happy, like and everybody's healthy, like what else can you ask for? And I feel that when you say that we became stronger, I feel that that's what really brought us together. Like, it put so many things into perspective, and so many, like, there's only a limited amount of moments that you're gonna have with your friends,
right,
your family, your kids, your
right.
parents, your siblings. That it's not no longer like, oh, it's gonna be 20 years. It's gonna be 20
Mhm.
Christmases, or it's gonna be like
Right.
20 birthdays, and then your perspective completely changes, and
Yeah,
it really makes you like really want to cherish those times that you
yeah.
spent with everybody. I
And be
feel,
present. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, be
So I think that
present.
was a big change. Sobre todo que sometimes we, as humans, tend to like hyper focus on things, and then es como que, oh, it's not that
Was it
serious.
worth it? Really? Was it worth
Like,
the energy? Yeah,
yeah. So
definitely.
it was a scary change, but I feel that it was a, now looking back, it's, no, I don't want to say it was a blessing, but
It
it
put things in perspective. It helped us reevaluate and be present with our family.
yeah.
And I'm gonna say it's necessary because it was not. I would have done good without it.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think that it helped put things in perspective. Like for me, it helped me reevaluate what are my, like for me, even for my vision board this year, it was like learn to say no to things that are not bringing you light, are not bringing you good energy, are not, because like you said, you have to be present. Times things are fleeting when it comes to life, so really be grounded into what makes you happy and who you surround yourself with. And I think that that was the lesson from this whole process, which
Yeah.
again I could do without. I would have
Oh, no,
enjoyed the
100%.
lesson.
That life doesn't prepare you for the change of you being your parents' caretaker.
Oh no.
And that change I feel that is big, and we pretend that we're not adults and we're, well, you're a super adult, but we titter tatter with being adults, but really we're like baby adults, and hit with that transition of taking care of your parent. It's it's difficult, and
No, it is. No.
it's it's something
So
that
it's important to have those conversations. I think that if this is it could be another whole podcast, but it's important to have those hard conversations about like life planning and what does it look like and what happens if the thing that we don't want to talk about, the hard conversations, come into light. And I think that those conversations, we need to have those conversations with your family so that you can get and understand, like, again, put things in perspective and, help your parents when and it's not comes as a surprise to you when it does happen. I mean, we're fortunate that our dad is
super
like
organized.
a super organized and planner to the,
Wow.
I mean, to the T. But those conversations need things that needed to happen. And even with him, we had to have certain things that he didn't plan for and he didn't think of. And so, those conversations came to light. So yeah, I think it was a good it was a transitional year, a lot of changes, and I hope that this year it's just learning from those changes. That's my hope for this
We
year.
can count on something that's constant, and that's
Yes,
change. But
change.
change
Yes,
is always gonna bring more change. And
yes,
last year, the change was a hard lesson, but then this year our change is gonna, just pivot from there. And I feel that that if there was a time for this to happen, this change the huge impact in our life to happen, this was the best time for it to happen. I don't think I would have been able to, at least personally, I don't think I would have been able to navigate this humongous change with my mom's health 3 or 4 years ago. I
right.
don't think I would have. I think it would have crumbled me, and I would have not been able to show up for my family the way that I did
Yeah,
this, like last year, you
right.
know?
Makes
So,
sense. Yeah,
I feel, okay, we can put it in, it's done, we're good, no
close
more,
it out.
we don't need any more lessons to learn.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
Sense.
We're good we're good with the C word for now. We're good. We
Yes,
got it.
yes. Uh,
We're good.
100%. But I mean, we're the lucky, within the lucky percentage that gets to
Yes.
say,
Yeah.
uh, we did it. It's
She
there.
survived. It's
Yeah,
closed.
we ended this because sadly, not many people cannot say the
Look at
same thing. So for
right.
that, in and of itself, like, we're like so grateful. Y le damos
Yeah.
gracias a Dios that we are able to say and laugh about it now and say, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't want any more lessons, or
That's
yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah.
something that we're definitely grateful for.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel that 2024, a lot of big changes. Um,
Hmm.
my word for this year was, or is, um,
What was it? You have it on your pulserita.
espérate, no, que mi pulserita se quedó, espérate.
Was it gratitude or it was my mom's health? Wasn't it health?
Oh my God, no puedo creer que se me olvidó mi.
Pero tú la hiciste en la pulsera. You have it in the pulsera.
I know, Tengo que buscar aquí,
La foto,
ya me va a salir.
la fotito.
Oh, yeah. My word for 2024 is joy. And
Ooh, yes.
yes, one of the biggest changes I want to make for 2024 is seeking joy in all aspects of my life. And not just I'm happy because I got myself a Starbucks. No, it really like expanding on what I learned the last half of the year of like you can go through difficult times and still feel joy. Where I want to be able to focus me and my family, my children in the small joys that life has, and with that be able to have a mindset that no matter what externally, as long as that joy is inside you, you'll be able to face anything. Y al mismo tiempo, como que la vida sea divertida, feliz, like enjoyable. So, joy for me this year is a conscious effort to pick things that make me happy, that make my family happy, whether it's making hard decisions and saying no, or not letting people mess with
Steal
my
it.
peace. Yeah. Because people, situations, like el otro día fui a salir and I don't know why it was super cold and my tire marked me that it was like
Oh, see, low, that happens in cold.
no. She's like, what? And I feel that at that moment me iba a poner como que, and I was like, listen,
It's just a tire. Yeah.
it's just a tire. Like, relájate los nervios. It's not that big of a deal. And
Yeah.
I Googled how
Don't.
to put air, and that was it. And
Yeah.
I felt amazing because now I know how to put air in your tires.
Things you learn,
The
right?
things you learn.
As a single
As
mom. Yep.
go ahead. In my resume, I can put air in my tire.
Yes. I
Alone.
survived that.
I Googled it and I did it.
Don't let a damn tire steal my joy.
I'm feeling my joy.
I
But
agree.
yeah, I feel that that's my word for 2024. That's a change that I want to proactively make.
Yeah. I did too, because I am not one to stay on one word. I couldn't decide. So my words of 2024 were peace and purpose. I really was looking forward to peace. I want peace. I and that's what I'm looking forward. Peace, just peacefulness, quietness, peacefulness in my brain, in my mind, in my body, just peace. In my home is peaceful usually. So I made sure that my home is my sanctuary. So I do want to make sure that it remains peaceful. Um, and purpose, because it really, again, going back to 2023, it really refocused me on what I need, what's purpose, what I need to live a life with purpose, and be conscious that when I'm making a choice, is it what purpose does it serve me, my family, my work life, and just do things with a purpose in mind. And so for me, those were my two words. And again, you can pick whatever words you want. You can be just like Lena and pick one and live by it, or pick two, pick three,
Well,
pick a
I had
couple.
two. I had two joy and then FAFO, which I can't say the words. F around and F out.
Mhm.
So, okay.
Yeah. Fuck around, find out.
Uh-huh. Because I really feel like, and that's a grosera version of saying that, but I really don't know. Up until recently, I have forgotten how to stand up for myself.
Mhm.
And I feel that part of that change is being able to say, yo sabes,
Dos veces.
dos
Mhm.
veces,
Dos
el
veces.
tampoco. Like, you can be kind y todo, turn the cheek the other way, pero llega un punto que es como que, okay, ya,
Yeah.
like, I don't wish you ill will, pero tú por allá, yo por acá, blessings to you, but bye.
We don't want it.
Like,
Como
no,
dicen, I don't want it.
I don't want it, yeah, like, and that's for everything. I feel,
Yeah.
hoy tenía puesta otra camisa and I was trying to get this camera to work. And I kept on like being like, no me gusta la camisa. I kept on moving the camera, moving the camera, moving the camera. And I was like, why am I moving the camera? Cámbiate la camisa y se acabó el evento. Like, si los jeans no te quedan, don't save them. Wear jeans that fit you and don't like,
Cómpralo más grande. Sizes. Don't get me started. Yeah. Don't get me started
like,
on sizing.
yeah, like don't like not like no. If it's not
Yeah.
working, whether it's a person, a thing, a situation, your jeans,
Bótalo. Like
cámbialo.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Trash will take itself out.
Yes, please, por favor.
Take it
Like,
out.
no. 2024 is, you know. And I feel that that's part of the change of finding joy. Is
I like that.
being able not to say no.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I'm excited. I another big change is in this podcast. I used to do it with Sarah, and now I'm gonna do it with my sister. We are going to change the format a little bit. And that's one of the things that we wanted to also talk about today, the changes in PGC, the changes in our life, but also the change in this podcast. It's going to change a little bit. We have a vision of what we want it to be. So you will see that it will change. We will probably also change the name.
Yes.
And you're going to help us pick it. And we're going to change the format. We want to do something that is exciting, that it's fun, but that it's also bringing value to you. Because my sister's word is purpose, and we wanted to have a purpose and not just hablando por hablar. And that always ties back to everything that we do. My sister's a much better, ella fue la mejor inversión de mi papá según ella.
And I just
She's a very, an elevated version and who I aspire to be when I grow up. My sister has a very purposeful job. She works in Alzheimer's research, and I feel that not everybody can say I'm saving the world from Alzheimer's, but in small things like these, there's always a chance to serve a purpose. And I feel that the change that I'm making with PGC includes that, because one of the biggest things that people were asking me about once we said that we were going to close down PGC, it wasn't like, where am I going to get my new earrings? It was all like, oh my God, pero keep on doing it, because when I wake up and watch your Instagram, I'm like so happy to see you and your energy. Like, oh my God, like, do you have a personal account that I can follow you? Like, a mí me encanta like the positivity that you put out there. Y todas esas cosas. So I feel that we're taking all those bits and pieces and putting it here in this podcast. So we're super excited. This is another part of the journey.
Yes.
And the changes. Yes. I'm excited.
I am too.
Excited.
I'm excited. And
to end this on a light note, this is something that we always do, and I think we're keeping, is what are you obsessed with right now?
Oh my God. So many things. I mean, I am obsessed with Beyonce's Texas Hold'em because, first of all, first Black woman to like be top in country. Oh my, I'm like obsessed. I'm obsessed with everything she does. I'm obsessed with the fact that she's from Houston, Texas, and I am in Houston, Texas. And now I'm obsessed to the point that I need to learn how to line dance so I can actually be a full-blown Texan. Like, I'm Googling like line dancers close to me. And so I am obsessed with Beyonce. Obsessed. I've shifted my obsession from Taylor Swift to Beyonce a little bit. So yeah.
I feel like ellas dos son very similar in their,
yes.
Even though they're very different, they're also very similar in that they're very, you know, they're
chameleons. They change their music, they change their genre, they change. I mean, talking about change. She probably made a risk, and everyone's like, Beyonce country, like what the hell? And there she goes, killing it.
And it always has like a purpose. They're very like it always has a double meaning, or like nothing gets done out of lo hice para hacerlo. No. Everything tiene como a background and a message and and I'm super into that. I'm super into Texas Hold'em. It's a very good catchy song. Está en replay. But Taylor Swift todavía está en replay because Nena will not stop listening to
I
Taylor Swift.
mean, believe me, en mi casa, like we wake up Samir woke up this morning singing Bejeweled. I mean, have you ever seen a 50-year-old man singing Bejeweled? It's quite a sight to see. So, yeah, my house is tailored out 100%. It will never be,
100%.
it's the soundtrack of our family life.
But
I
if
mean,
anybody's
my
gonna
dad
get
became a
you,
Swiftie.
but if
But
anybody's
yeah,
gonna get you into the country music, it's gonna be Beyonce. And I
Beyonce.
can't wait to see all the visuals of her rest of her tour because it's gonna shift from like that fabulousness of Bejeweled everything very galactic into this high end Bejeweled country
Cowboy. Love it.
cowboy. I'm super into it. En verdad, super, super, super into it. Um, what I'm
What are you
obsessed with.
obsessed with?
I'm obsessed with this show that I watched on Netflix that's called One Day.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about it.
It's it's a if you want to have a good cry show, but it's also like it's funny también, it's heartwarming, it's a really good show and it really touches on all the things that we talked about today, that life can change in like a blink of an eye and that you know just do what makes you happy, be with the people that makes you happy, and no como que don't get stuck on the frivolous things que a lo último del día what you're doing is
Definitely.
wasting time. But it's really really good. It's easy to watch. It's very very good. The
The
main
guy,
the
he
guy is
was,
happy.
but you know what he was on? Because I just finished watching it. That weird one, the White Lotus, second season. He is the nephew of the um
The,
yes, el que sale con Portia, the one that hangs
oh,
out with
that's
Portia.
it.
Yes, that's him. And me and quite like because I just recently finished it, which by the way, I feel like I need all my time back from that.
Wow,
Um,
it's so good.
I am not a fan of White Lotus, the second season. I know. Don't kill me, everybody. Don't kill me. And we'll talk about that later, maybe, perhaps. Pero not a fan. Pero ese es el muchacho, the one that hangs out with Portia. That's him. Yeah,
I feel that
I'm
he's
really.
another person in this show.
I know. I probably, and I would like to see him in another role because his role here was very dark. So I would like
Yeah,
to see him in another role.
yeah.
So I'm excited. I have it on my list.
It's very, very good. He does have a little bit of a darkish side in this show, pero not to the extent of White Lotus. Pero yo lo amo. Like I'm obsessed with him. Ojos azul. Like yo lo amo. Like I'm in love with him. Like
He's
I am
very
in love with
pretty.
him.
I know.
And no,
Yeah.
y por eso sí, ay, yo lo amo. You're gonna see at the end. You're like, oh my god.
Okay.
Like just
I'm excited to see him. I know. I'm
yeah, it's
excited to
good.
see him.
Prepárese
Porque
para llorar. But yeah,
oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, it's a good cry show. It's good,
Okay.
but it's very good. I'm into it.
Okay.
I'm
Good.
super into it.
One day.
Well, change is inevitable. It's gonna happen. We're excited for the change to come, and we can't wait to share with you.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of thinking about change in a positive way. That's how
Always,
I envision it. Yes. Sometimes
always.
it has a hard connotation, so I think that cambio, cambio. Yeah.
Yeah.
¿Cómo es que es el dicho en español? Para atrás ni para coger impulso, ¿verdad? Así que, so that kind of fits into the change thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that the only constant thing in life is change.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. The trees change during the seasons. We change as we grow old. People change. Houses change. Your body changes. Your kids, like everything
Yeah.
is constantly changing. And I feel that the more you embrace it, the more exciting it can be.
Yeah. For sure.
So let's do
Yeah.
this.
I'm
Yay!
excited. Oh, and tell everybody they need to figure out like our new name. We need a new name, people.
Oh my
Let us
God,
know.
yes.
A new name for
We
this
need to figure out
podcast.
a new name. That's part of the change, but we don't know what name we're gonna do. So we're gonna do for the next episode. And if you don't follow us on social, follow us, Pretty Girl Charm. Like, follow me, prettygirlcharm.com and Pretty Girl Charm, and then I will put some votes up, and then we'll change the official Instagram for the podcast and the podcast name here also. Because right now it's called Mom Chisme.
Mm-hmm.
And we are gonna chismear. It's just gonna have another focus,
Mm-hmm.
and we just don't know what it's gonna be. But we are playing around. So if you have any suggestions, now it's somos hermanas, so it can be a play on sisters or whatever. But no sabemos bien.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be fun, whatever we decide with, and I hope that you help us pick it out because we need all the help
You
that we
Kelsey, sisters of the jewelry world. Although I'm not taking my shirt off in any football game, just so you know.
I know we can be the Kelsey sisters, the Bestada sisters, but in girl mom world. Ellos
Girl
son
mom world.
football world, y nosotros somos
Here's on sports
girl
world.
mom
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So we'll take it. We'll see. We'll see what it comes with. We'll take any suggestions that you have for us as we navigate the change in name and all the changes that we have coming up. I'm
Yes,
excited.
excited.
Yay!
Yay. Ese momento.